And we are recording once again. Good morning, Ken. How are you, man?
Good morning, Fenton. A little tired today, but it's all right. Still energetic. Always am.
Always energetics. Keep the energy going, flowing, growing. It's not snowing. My skin is glowing. How many
What's wrong with
words
snow?
can I come up with?
I like snow.
Snow's okay.
See, I don't like shoveling snow. See, there's a difference.
Yes.
But I'm a snowboarder.
Are you?
Yes, I've been snowboarding since I was 14.
Oh my God. All right. Now everybody knows you're a snowboarder. If we have video of you snowboarding, we can insert it. I can do that. I'm getting pretty good at this Adobe.
Did phones have video back then? I don't think so. That was 1994.
Not that old.
1994.
Okay. 1994. Yeah. The phone video back then was not a good look. Okay. Yeah, right. We're doing a podcast. Welcome to Products of Circumstance, the new podcast with Ken Skeen and myself, Fenton Joseph. We discuss mental health and mindset matters through the lens of Black men who snowboard. We cover topics like family and relationship trauma, relationships with money, self-worth, positive thinking, gratefulness, and so much more. The show is unscripted, clearly, unfiltered, and mostly unedited. And we choose our topics randomly. Only Ken knows what we're going to talk about today. But before we get into that, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Ding, 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 ding. Most importantly, please share. Please share with somebody. We appreciate everybody who sends this video or a clip from our YouTube page to somebody. You know, there's these little, gems that we try to drop in there, and we hope that you get something from it. But it's not just for you. Please share it with somebody on their personal development journey. Thank you so much. All right. What are we talking about today, bro?
All right. Today, actually, my wife is the one who helped me with this one today. I was a little foggy this morning, didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but everything's all good. What do you think makes a meaningful life? Again, my apologies. Not a lot of sleep. I got 3 kids at home.
Coffee is key.
I'm still here. I had to still show up. All right. What do you think makes a meaningful life?
A meaningful life. Okay.
What do you think makes a meaningful life? I wrote something down because no. I want you to answer it in a moment, actually.
Okay.
But to everyone, it's different, right? It's a very open-ended question. What someone feels is a meaningful life. Mm-hmm. Everyone has their own answer. We'll just share a few with the audience. So, people do forget one thing, right? So I heard I was in one of the social media accounts, and there was a comedian on stage, and he was talking to the audience, and he's like, we all need to stop for a second and stop thinking, we're in America. Everyone thinks, I live in America. Yeah, stop for a second. We live on a planet. We live on a rock. Right? Think a little broader for a second. We're on a rock floating in space. That's infinite, by the way. It has no end to it. The universe has no end. And that no-ending universe keeps expanding, right? So we're on a rock in space in an expanding universe that never has an end. Think about that for a sec, because a lot of people, I think, forget that entire fact. We are the perfect distance away from the sun, the perfect distance away from our moon, with the right amount of oxygen and helium, because that does help, believe it or not, on this planet to survive, with water and ice. And if ice didn't float, I'm not trying to be scientific here, but listen for a second.
Oh, okay.
When water turns into ice, if ice did not float, right, and it sunk to the bottom of the ocean, everything would freeze. Everything on the planet would freeze. All the anything living in the ocean, everything up top would freeze as it went up. Right. And even with the ice ages, we still lasted all these times. There have been multiple ice ages. So stop thinking for a second that you just live in your country, your town, your city, your state. So again, what do you think makes a meaningful life? Actually think about it once in a while, because the things you possess, whether it be an object like a car, a house, your favorite coffee mug, whatever it may be. And also the things in your life. So friends, great friends, I have Fenton in my life. a great family, a great spouse, children, parents, grandparents, whatever it may be, right? Relatives in general.
Yeah.
Your career, right? Those meaningful things. What do you find as a what makes your life meaningful, and do you remember to appreciate what you have, what you've lost, and what you've gained? Yeah, that's where my head's at today.
Yeah, you know those like montages or whatever of like the planets spinning and stars whizzing by and like mathematical equations. Like that's what I'm seeing in my head as you're talking about the never ever expanding planet. You know, that was a lot to take in. And if anyone needs to take a break right now, get a drink of water, just let your brain decompress from everything Ken just threw out there, please take a moment. We'll be right here. Holy crap. So sometimes I take notes when you talk, and with all the stuff you're talking about, you know, with the planets and the universe and the ice age, I wrote down cockroaches. With everything that you said, I was like, cockroaches have survived all this time. Since the dinosaurs, they've been here, and they're still here. Will we be here? I don't know, but the cockroaches will be here. Anyway, truth be told, I think for me, it's about being present in the moment. And when I think about a moment, I don't just mean literally right now, because that's important too, but also like this season that I'm in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like the time, the moment in time that I'm in my life. Like right now, I am a parent to a toddler. You know, yeah, I've been told scientifically she's not a toddler anymore because she's 4. I don't care what you people say. She's a toddler to me. And I'm just trying science. I'm just trying to enjoy that. You know what I mean? Like, I really, when she gets home today from school, I'm about to say work. When she gets home from school and I pick her up, like, you know, today's picture day. So she's dressed all super cute. She's always dressed super cute, but she's like super, super cute today. I'm going to take her, you know, take some pictures and just try to, you know what I'm saying? Like enjoy it. You know, I'm going to try not to check any emails or anything and just enjoy the moment. And for me, that's what it is. You know, having a meaningful life is being able to be present. Now, there's a lot of barriers that try to get in the way of or between us and the things that we want to be present with. You know, our spouses, our careers. You can have a really cool career, you know, but not always feel present in it because maybe, you know, your financial responsibilities are so great. Maybe you're not making enough money. And it's like, yeah, the work is cool, but you don't really get to enjoy it because you have other stresses. Finances, of course, are very stressful for a lot of people. And when I think about a meaningful life, I you know, there's a lot of things that go into it, but finances actually, that's a pretty big part of it. You know, because no matter what you say, you need them dollars, okay, to survive, and you need to be financially secure. You know, if I want to take my wife out to dinner, which I haven't done in a good while. You know, schedules just, you know, with toddler. It's just hard, although you and I are going out to dinner tonight. So that probably, that argument probably doesn't hold too much water.
Yeah, you're driving a pretty good distance to meet me for dinner tonight.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to watch this anyway. but, you know, I need to do that. Our child and child care sometimes is a barrier between being able to be present where we are in our marriage right now, which is in a really great place. We're 7 years in. We really understand one another. We're really good teammates and partners. We work really well together. We're able to laugh still and enjoy one another's company. Sometimes it's really hard to just enjoy our company because you got, you know, responsibilities. But, you know, having finances, you know, having a lot of money, you know, can allow you to make that time. To me, money is time. I'm sorry. No, money's not time. Money allows you to do what you want to do with your time.
Okay.
Spend your time the way you want to spend the time.
Right.
So that people are clear. And that to me opens the doors for you being able to be present where and when you want to be. You know, nothing's worse than being like we had soccer. You know, our daughter had soccer last summer, and she wasn't very good. But that's not the point. The point is that she was there. She was trying something new. She's socializing with other kids. She's learning about being in a team sport. She's learning to understand how to use her body and all these things. And it's a fascinating time to watch kids, as you know, try out sports and do these things. Yeah. What could be worse than not being present in that moment? Because your boss is blowing up your phone and you have to, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? Like have your mind on something else. Or it could be something else. It could be, I feel like Neil deGrasse Tyson just now when I did that. Remember that meme? So I caught a glimpse of myself on the monitor. You know, or maybe a family member is sick and you're busy thinking about that, you know, and you're texting to make sure that, you know, they have what they need or whatever. So that's health, right? You know, they say health is wealth. You know, so I'm going somewhere with this. People stay with me. In my mind, when I think about a meaningful life, I think about being financially secure and I think about being healthy. Because we all know, that if you have a lot of money and you don't have your health, you would trade all the money in the world for good health. And if you have great health and you're financially secure, but you have no one to love or to love on you, you would trade all that money again, you know, for a relationship, you know, that meant something. So I look at my life and I share this with my wife all the time. I'm like, we have our health, we have our family, you know, our beautiful family. That's like, that's our world. And we're okay, you know, financially, you know, I'm not buying my Porsche this year, but I'll get it. I'm going to get it eventually. And for me, I always say to my wife, like, all we really think about is bread, how to make more money. That's it. Right. But we good. I love you. You love me. We happy. Our kids good. Like we're good. And we just try to think about how to make more money. And I think about, you know, that kind of like trifecta. Now, that doesn't take into account our spirituality. You know, my faith is paramount. It's key to everything because it gives me my identity and my self-worth. And so a lot of that stuff, you know, my faith, my identity, my worth as a husband, as a father, you know, as a provider, as a protector, as a child of God, like all those things to me are like, that's the nucleus, you know, of my meaningful life. And I'll say this last thing because it's really important to understand, like, I started out talking about money. Money's not everything. Because if I'm broke, my wife still loves me. I know this because I've been broke while I've been married.
Yeah.
She still loves me. We still good. If I'm broke, my kid will love me. If I'm broke, my faith tells me that the money will come and that the bills will be paid. God's going to provide the money. I don't make the money. I think I'm pretty good at what I do. I think I'm pretty talented. And I also know that it's not just me. I don't control everything. I got an email yesterday about some projects that just came out of the blue. I didn't do anything. I just ding. I got a thing on my phone and I looked at it and said, "Oh, we want you to build some websites." Like, oh, this is great. Did I put in the work before? Network? Yeah, absolutely. But the timing, I can't control that. You know, so when I think about my faith as a part of my meaningful life as well, it's really important, you know, because I think without it, I would probably freak out a lot more and be very concerned about what's going to happen and when it's going to happen, as opposed to just having this steadfast belief that things are going to be okay, you know? So hopefully, you know, as people are listening to us talk about this and what it means to us, you're taking a moment to think about what your meaningful life consists of. Maybe what are some of those things, those building blocks of a meaningful life that you haven't quite, grasped yet or felt like you've attained yet, how can you go about attaining those building blocks? If you feel like financial security is a big one for you and you don't have it yet, in my opinion, not always an application, but in my opinion, I feel like it's actually one of the easier things to secure. And I say that as an entrepreneur who has not yet achieved all of my own financial goals and business goals. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's simple. You can write down a plan, and you know this better than anybody can. You can make a plan, you have a vision, and then you go and you start to execute day by day to reach that goal. And then you start to see the progress through the consistency. If it's getting a job, you get the job, you start to get the money, you have a budget, bills get paid, you save, you invest, and you reach your goals. That is actually very simple. When it comes to your faith, when it comes to, your relationships, these things are a little bit more complex, in how you go about it. But, please don't let, I'm going a lot of different places.
No, it's coming. It's all coming together. You got it.
Sometimes, Ken, I think that people focus on one thing that's not going well in life, and they completely forget about the things that are going well.
I agree.
Even if it's just a baseline, like, it's unfortunate when you say to somebody, yes, but you woke up today, and they're like, oh, shut up. Like, that's corny. Like, I don't want to hear that, motivational Monday.
I think I say that on a daily basis to people. I know I say that on a daily basis. Hey, you got a chance to wake up and do it all over again. A lot of people didn't get that chance. Like, that's a big deal.
You might not have woken up today. People, you know what? We should go find the statistics. If there's a statistic, I don't know who keeps track of this stuff. How many people die in their sleep every year? Died in their sleep, went to bed, did not wake up. It's probably a lot more than I would even think. Like, if I guessed a number, I was like 1,000 or something like that. It's probably like, like 1 million.
Probably more than that.
Every day is not guaranteed. The old adage, like, you could wake up today and get hit by a bus. Like, it's true. Like, lots of people get hit by buses and die, like, every single year. You don't know if you're going to have a heart attack. You don't know if you're going to have a stroke. You don't know if you're going to get cancer. You don't know if, you catch a pneumonia. You're giving birth to a child, yes. Complications. There's so many different, slip on a banana peel, get into a fight at the grocery store, like, whatever, dude. Today is not promised.
Look at, you have like people in high school or college that play football, baseball, play a sport, right? And their heart's always pumping, faster than normal because they're in the middle of action. And you hear about this 18-year-old or 19-year-old and fit, goes to the gym, always on the field, and their heart just stops. You're a teenager and your heart just stopped, decided, today's your last day, today's your last moment. So it's not even like you were talking to someone who's in their, 80s, 90s, and, you've lived your life and, it was time. Cardiac arrest when you're 19 years old. You didn't know you were going to wake up that day and then that was the last one. So cherish every day. That's why I do get those, like you mentioned just now, Fenton, that, you tell people, at least you got the chance to wake up, and they give you that look like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, you better cherish that. That's a blessing. Whether you're talking to the universe or to your God, whoever your God may be from different religions, right? Whoever you speak to or whatever you speak to, be thankful. Very, very, very thankful that you got a chance to wake up and try it all over again. And like Fenton was saying, sorry to cut you off for 2 seconds, but
no.
That's a big thing to me. I truly, truly live my every day I wake up and I'm able to hug my kids and kiss my wife and say, wow, all right, let's try it again. Let's try it again. With anything that's going wrong, I'm thankful for my house. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my circle of friends that I keep around me. It used to be big. It's a very small circle now, but I'm thankful for that in my life. Very, Everything else can come and go. But you waking up, that's a blessing. I don't care who you preach to or what it is. That's a huge blessing that you got a chance to do it all over again. My apologies. Go ahead.
Nah, you're good, bro. I think when people get sick, and they wake up and it's hard to breathe or they have pain in their bodies, I think that's when it really starts to settle in. Like, yo, I was good. It was all good just a week ago. And now I'm in the hospital, you know what I'm saying? Like I got tubes, coming out of me, whatever. And then it's like, yo, I'm really appreciative. I'm really appreciative for health, for good health. And I had a brother. I still have a brother. He had a heart attack, I think at like 22, 23. He was fit. He played football in high school. Like he was, fit dude, 6-pack and all that. Guy had a heart attack. He also ate like a pound of bacon a week, which is crazy. But, let it suffice to say, I think that was a wake up call. Like, oh my God, you could be young. You could be young. Like you said, you're not talking about 80-year-old people. Look, I was talking to my dad the other day. I'm looking at my gray hairs, right?
And I'm gray hairs?
Yeah. And I'm great. I mean, look, my headphones match my beard, man. Like I'm like, silver fox over here. And my dad, his hair now is gray. And when he grows a beard, it's, gray. He has a lot more gray than I do. My point is, I'm like, Dad, I'm 41 and I'm all grayed out. When you were 41, when he was 41, I was like 10 or 11 years old. And I was like, Dad, I'm where you were like not that long ago, bro. And he's like, yeah, you guys are all grown up. My oldest brother's 44. I'm 41. He's got grandkids. I'm like, yo, I'm a little daughter running around here. Like, it feels like I was a 10-year-old just yesterday, bro. And now I'm talking to my dad and we all got gray hair. And, we just thought about how quickly life went by. And I'm closer to 50 than I am to 30. You and I both. And it sounds like I'm speaking for myself because you don't have any gray hairs.
I have one. No. I have one. It's I think it's on. Let's say if you see this side, so it's not really on this side, but it's really on this side. I think there's one over here. I just got a fade, so
my man's over there looking like it's closer to 25 than 45. When I cut my beard, I do look, pretty young. But right now, I'm looking like Moses out here. When my daughter is graduating high school, she's 4 now, so that's 14 years from now. I will be 55. Okay, and I'm thinking about myself like, I want to be old enough and fit enough. I mean, fit enough to tussle. You know what I'm saying? If she got a boyfriend, like we gonna wrestle. And I'm thinking about my health, and being in good shape and having muscles and like dealing with the fact that as I get older, my muscles want to shrivel up. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to work harder. I'm very, very tuned in and keen on the fact that I'm getting older and that I need to take care of my body is my point. And every day that goes by is a blessing because I don't know what day I'm gonna wake up with some back pain that's just like, why? God, like I didn't do anything. I wasn't playing sports. I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't even walking and just wake up with back pain. By the way, it's already happened to me. It happens. Sometimes I just wake up and just have back pain. It's like Jay-Z was like, I forget what show he was on. He was like, yeah, I had this pain in my thumb for like the past week. Yeah, he's like 50. Just your body just does weird things. My point is, don't let the fact that some things aren't what you want them to be take away from the fact that you got an opportunity today to go out and make it happen. I have a list of things I need to do to be successful every day, and it's broken down into steps. And I say to myself, if I do these things every day, at minimum, I will be successful. When I say successful, I mean I'll reach the goals that I have for myself.
Right.
And I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, but it's like stuck up there. It's like the sneeze is online to like it's in line to come out.
It's downloading. It's dial up with AOL or something.
Yeah. Okay. You know, it's important to have gratitude. You know, write down. Oh God, Ken.
What's up?
We are broken records, aren't we?
Yeah, it's all right though.
We keep telling people, write down what you're grateful for. Write it down. I'm telling you, take out your notes on your iPhone or your Android, right? Get a piece of paper, get a journal, whatever. Write it down and say, this is what I am grateful for. It on paper makes a big difference, people, because when you go through the physical act of writing something down, it sticks up here. It's more it's more indelible, you know what I mean, on your brain than if you just type it. Typing is fine, but writing it, it hits different. And you can go back and you can look at it every day. I do this. Ken does this. You should do it. Gratitude. Because it's easy to say, I'm glad I woke up today. I'm grateful for another opportunity to get it right. I'm grateful for another opportunity to reach my goals. I'm grateful for an opportunity to pick up the phone and talk to that person that I've been beefing with.
Yeah.
That I haven't talked to. I'm grateful for the opportunity to reach out to that person that I love, but I haven't reached out to them. There's nothing wrong between us. We just, you know, how are they doing? I reached out to my one of my mothers, because I have a couple mothers. I have one earth mother, you know what I'm saying? Like biological, but I have a couple moms. Some of my very good friends, their mothers, you know, who treat me like their son. And I reached out to one of my moms yesterday and I was just like, man, it's been like a couple months. There's nothing wrong with us. Our relationship is great. It's been a couple months since I reached out. Yo, that's my mom's. You know what I'm saying? Like she calls me son. You know, how do you not hit them up and just see how they're doing? Right. And, you know, that was a blessing. And she was very happy to hear from me. You know, like, why not? Why not do that today? Who do you need to talk to? I'm like yelling over here. Like because
nah, it's all right. Love the energy.
Because people want a meaningful life with meaningful relationships and aren't willing to put in the effort to have that relationship. I think I told you, I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but my mom's, my biological, we were talking one day. I was down visiting her and she was like, yo, sometimes days go by and I don't hear from y'all. And she lives by herself. And she was like, yo, I could not wake up today and nobody would know.
Whoa.
She got 4 boys. She was like, if I didn't wake up today, nobody would know for a couple days because I don't hear from y'all sometimes. I was a punch to the gut. And I said, you know what? Nah, we can't do that. I said, I got to hit you up every single day. I got to hit you up every single day. You know, my wife, her mother is up here. She's close to where we are. And they talk every single day. Every single day. It's like you think they were like Italian, you know, like every day they talking, morning, middle of the day, nighttime, FaceTime. And I said, you know what? That's a beautiful thing. That's beautiful. Every day. That's a meaningful life.
Yeah.
See, that's mom's duke. That's mom dukes. You don't know if they're okay. They gave you life. Anyway, I could go on and on about that. Put the time in to the things that matter to you. If you want a meaningful life, you got to act like you mean it. You have to treat.
I like that.
Right? You got to treat
like
these
that.
things like they're meaningful to you. You have to reach out to people. Say, I love you. Say, thank you. Say, I appreciate you. I texted my wife the other day after she went to work. And I said, how can I show you that I appreciate you in a way that you can receive? Because we say all the time, oh man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And words are great. It means a lot. It's good to hear it. How can I show you? I appreciate you. That's my homie. That's my teammate. That's my wife. That's my partner. She does a lot. And I want to show that I appreciate you. You know, maybe I should go to dinner with her instead of you.
Bye, Felicia. I'll go have some filet Kobe beef of my own.
No, not tonight. No, we want to dinner tonight. We're going to eat that Wagyu tonight. I mean, in general, as a concept.
Why are you jumping the gun for?
As an idea.
Let me add something. You know what? I'm actually happy you took the lead today. Like I told the audience earlier, I'm just a little a little foggy, but I still I want to make sure I show up. We make sure we show up because we made a promise to show up every single week.
Word up.
But one thing I did want to add to everything Fenton said, which a lot of gems, by the way, because I agree with 100% everything he said to the fullest when it comes to different aspects of what you consider meaningful in your life. I'm sure a lot of people listening and watching feel the same exact way, whether or not they voice it enough or they do. I'm sure everyone is pretty at least 98% on the same path of what you just explained, what should be a meaningful life to others. A big one for me that I'm sure is for you also. I know you went on the old track of the family and friends and, money's not everything, which is very, very true. Yeah. A big one for me, and I know for you, is mentorship. Yeah. A big part of my life is mentorship. Being mentored and also mentoring others. And it's not an age thing. You don't have to be 40 mentoring a 19-year-old. You could be 19 mentoring a 40-year-old because you could be teaching someone new that they haven't thought, a new thought process, a new skill set. Just mentorship in general is a big thing. I know for me and as well for you. But that helps. That, I guess, I do it more for me than others. I love mentorship. I love teaching. I do read a lot. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Speak to mindful people. I don't care. Nothing against sport fans. Look, I played sports growing up. I don't care who ran how many yards and how many touchdowns they have in the past 20. I don't care. I'm sorry. No. I'd rather speak a little deeper with people, especially since we have a very short time on this planet. Yeah. It goes faster than you think. I'm 42 already. And yes, it does feel like I was 10 yesterday. I could still remember 1990 moving from Brooklyn to Long Island. I still remember that like it was yesterday. Yeah. But yeah, mentorship is a big thing. I think more people need to try it out because you could help someone that didn't even know that there were people out there that cared. There's so many people that feel like no one cares. And even just asking someone, how's your day going? But not just asking it to ask, but actually asking to listen to them and hear them out. This is how my day is going. And just let them, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Shut up. Open your ears, close your mouth and shut up and just listen to them for a second. Yeah. I didn't say fix. You don't have to fix everyone's problems. I didn't say that. But some people just want to be heard. It's good. And it's a big deal. So yeah, one of my fulfillments in life is definitely mentorship. That includes my children. Thankfully, my kids actually love when I talk to them.
God, Dad, shut up.
He's so positive. He's such a positive person, Dad. I'm like, yeah, I get it from my dad. Actually, I was with my dad yesterday. I stopped by his house yesterday.
Nice.
With the kids, and it was nice. I actually learned something new about him when he first moved to this country. And he was, moved from Belize. He was a teacher. Came here because my brother was sick. I think we discussed this in a previous episode, like when we first started. But how he came like on a Friday, like they got into New York on like a Friday, and he had a job by Monday in construction. Because when he was back in Belize, he was teaching, carpentry at a school, a vocational school. And he got into construction and, did what he had to do, feed his family. It was just my brother at that time. I wasn't born yet, but it's crazy. I got to learn something new about his journey through those first few years of being an immigrant and coming here. But it was nice to have him share that story because that's part of my meaningful life of having my close relationship with my family. and the friends I consider family as well, because there are friends in my life, such as you, Fenton, that I consider you more of a family. There's blood's thicker than water. Not all the time. Sometimes that friend is closer than some of your own family members.
Water be thick.
Yeah. So
New York City water.
There's another point I want to touch on. And you were talking how, you speak to your mom once every few days, but now you try to do it every day. It was a little punch in the gut when she said no one would know. Here's a crazy thing that I had read a few months back. And I'm not going to get the percentages right, but they were saying that a parent has spent 80% of their time with their child by the time the child is 18 years old. This is based on your child going away to college or just moving out the house, whatever it may be. But when you think about it, so by the time your child is 18 years old, then the time you get to see them on a daily basis, being that child lives with you, that is, right? 18 years old. So that's 80%. 80% of the life of that child at 18. You have 20% life from the time they're 18 to, let's say, they live to the average age of 83 or 85, whatever it may be. That entire span will be the next 20% of the time you actually see your child.
That just messed
or
me
see
up,
or see your pet. Yo, it messed me up. I was telling my wife about that yesterday, and I was like, whoa.
Nah, that can't be right, man. That can't be right. That's crazy.
Think about it, man. I got to see my dad yesterday, but how often do I get to go to my dad's house? He's busy. I'm busy. He has, he's remarried, has, new wife, has kids. I've got my kids. We talk to each other. Yeah. We do, but see him, get to hug him, give him a kiss. See him, yeah. That's not as often as you think.
Nah. I said to my dad and my stepmother, the pandemic robbed us of a lot of time because he had just retired the year before. Mm-hmm. And then the pandemic happened. And for a couple months, he retired in May. And they would just come up and see us, Tuesday, it's Thursday, yo, let's hang out. We'll have dinner, just stop by. And we were just kicking it in a way that we, didn't really get to do before, because he worked.
Right.
And it was great, especially now that I have a child. Because he's a grandparent, he had other grandkids, but physically we're the closest ones. You know what I'm saying? I'm closer to my dad physically than all my other brothers. So for him to come up and be able to, hang out with his grandkid and have that experience on a regular basis, that was the best. And then, COVID just, ripped that away, so it's a blessing to see them. I saw we lit up, when he said, yo, I stopped by my dad yesterday. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. There's what's his name? Tom, Billy, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name, but shout out to them. He was doing this, I think it was Jesse Itzler. He had him on and he was talking about, how many times you're going to see your parents before they die? He was like, if your parents live on the other side of the country, if you see them once a year, twice a year, they're 70, let's say they live to 80, you see them 10 more times, maybe 20.
Right.
And that blew my mind when he said that. It's just thinking about mortality, like I said, my wife, thank God, she gets to see her mother and I get to see my mother-in-law, on a fairly frequent basis. Every week. Yeah. And it is great. It's yo, that's mom's. That's a beautiful thing. My mom lives in another state. I'm gonna see her next month. But I think it's the first time this year that I'm gonna see her. I don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah, I'm gonna see you 10 more times in my whole life.
Right.
Flesh to flesh. You know what I'm saying? Hug it out. We understand there's barriers. People might live far away. Maybe you can't afford to hop on a plane, on a regular basis, that type of thing. But you got to remove as many of those barriers as possible that get in the way of you doing the things that help you to write your story about your meaningful life. What's your story going to be and who are you going to tell it to? Those are the people around you. You know what I'm saying? You hung out with your pops yesterday and he get to tell you his story about his meaningful life to his kid. And you could tell that story to your kids. what is your story going to be? There's going to be a lot of barriers that's going to keep you from trying to write that story, man. You know, life's going to try to suck all the ink out of your pen, you know, break the tip of your pencil. Like you need to do what you got to do so that you can write that story and have the meaningful life that you want.
That was a nice way to wrap that up, by the way.
Teleprompter, I just read what's on.
My thing keeps breaking.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to wrap up. And I really, really hope and pray that everyone watching take some time and think about, you know, what you want your life to be and go out and make it happen. And with that, my friend, please like, subscribe, share.
Yes, please share.
All right.
Why not help someone? But anyway, have a beautiful day, sir. I will see you later.
I'll see you at dinner, man. Peace.
Peace.